All right, we've got the closing bell sounding on this Thursday, September 3rd, 2009. We've got those equity averages, Matt, pretty much closing here at their best levels of the day. They really saw an uptick in these last few minutes of trading.
That's right, gains here, and as we said, led by Alcoa. You see the S&P back up over that 1,000 mark. Katie Stockton told us it's not that important right here, as much as it was at least on the way through it the first time we crossed, or actually the second or third or fourth time we crossed. In any case, here you see the Dow gaining as well, about 60 points, also closing at its relatively near its best levels of the session right there, and the NASDAQ as well, gaining 0.8% at 1983. Let's go down to the New York Stock Exchange right now. Suzanne O'Halloran is standing by, and she's going to give us a roundup of the action today. Suzanne?
Well, Matt, I'm going to start with the financials because they really were part of the reason why we saw the S&P cross back above that 1,000 level. We saw a lot of buying just in the last hour in financials, which were the strongest sector in the S&P today, rising about 2%. We saw a lot of buying in the big money center banks. That's going to be J.P. Morgan, Citigroup, Bank of America. The KBW Bank Index also saw a nice bump today, as did some of the regional banks. Now, we did learn today that mortgage rates for a 30-year fix did dip to 5%. That's important because lower borrowing costs do help the consumer catch a break, and if you want to refinance, that certainly creates an opportunity for many homeowners to save some money. So that again was part of the story with financials today. Where we saw some weakness in financials was going to be the exchange stocks. We had the SEC and the CFTC talking about regulation in the derivatives market. They're looking at a number of areas, so we saw some declines in shares of the CME, also shares of the Intercontinental Exchange, also known as ICE, and even some weakness in the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ has some contract obligations that it trades with the CME for certain derivatives contracts. So, again, this is a regulation story. A lot of analysts and investors keeping a close eye on that. I just want to mention Ford. We covered it in this show. Carol, Ford rising 6%. Moody's turning more positive on the company's day. Carol?
All right, Suzanne, thanks for that breakdown.